Hi there, this is Tilda speaking,
And I'm Jubi.
and welcome to Near&QueerSFF. Yeah, and this is the third episode that we've done about Arcane. The two previous ones were about Vi and Jinx, and now it's time to talk about Caitlyn, one of my favorite subjects. And I have spent a lot of time on her so far, but hey, let's spend some more time on her. Yay! I'd love that.
Before we get into the discussion, we just want to make sure listeners are aware that there will be spoilers for any already released material. We'll be discussing each piece of media as a whole rather than chronologically, so we will assume that if you're listening, you've already watched or read the material, or you don't care about spoilers.
But before we go into the analysis of her and the discussion, there's a situation that we'd like to address first, Jubi and I. And that's the fact that Caitlyn in the show is portrayed a little differently or is seen a little differently than the Caitlyn in the fandom.
Yeah, I've kind of noticed a little bit of a disconnect where there's this really popular, I guess I would call it headcanon,
Yeah.
of Caitlyn as this super confident, experienced lesbian top that swans around calling Vi darling. And I don't see it. I really don't.
Me neither. Definitely not.
I don't see it with the girl in the show. The girl in the show, like, she has a confident side, but it's with work,
Oh, yes.
not with personal stuff.
No, definitely not.
I just want to clarify that I think I know where that disconnect is coming from, where that version of Caitlyn is coming from.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are two reasons.
Okay.
Number one, Caitlyn in the game is a little different from Caitlyn in the show.
Mm-hmm.
My impression of League Caitlyn is that she's a little more posh, more socially confident,
Yeah.
maybe a little more sexy than Arcane Caitlyn.
Yeah.
So I can definitely see that depiction of her influencing the way some fans view her in the show.
Oh, yeah, I see that too.
The other reason number two, is something that happened on Amanda Overton's Twitter page like 2 or 3 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
There was a fan who was asking about the scene where Caitlyn sneaks Vi into her bedroom and Cassandra kind of catches them, and she says that line about, "Oh, I see you found a stray," or something like that.
Yeah.
And the person wanted to know if that was familiar to Cassandra, if that had happened before.
I remember this.
Overton's response was, in my opinion, something pretty vague, pretty cryptic.
Oh, yes.
Her response was something along the lines of, something was certainly familiar to Cassandra in that scene, with the word something emphasized. And to me, that meant something, but maybe not the something that you're specifically asking about.
No.
I've read a lot of Overton's responses to fan questions, and usually when it's something like that, where somebody's asking about something that they kind of obviously want to be true, she gives an answer that's kind of non-committal, it's kind of vague, it's kind of, I can neither confirm nor deny. She doesn't want to discourage anyone's headcanon and tell them that it's wrong, but she also doesn't want to confirm anyone's headcanon.
Right.
Because she could have just said yes, and she didn't. She said this
didn't.
weird vague thing.
Yeah.
But a lot of people took it as confirmation of what was being asked, and that Caitlyn had snuck girls in, for years through the window. I don't really think that's what it meant, because I just don't see Caitlyn having the social skills to be this very confident pussy destroyer, as I saw someone refer to her as.
Oh my God.
I don't see it. She doesn't have the social skills. She's awkward. She's obsessive, especially about work.
Oh, yeah. Most definitely she is that. I see her as this socially awkward dork, basically. I think those were the words you said last time we talked. And I buy into that. She's a bit of a geek and she has trouble interacting with other people socially, unless it's about work.
Like, that's where her focus is, and I just don't see her, like, going out to the bar and picking up girls on a
No,
Tuesday night or whatever.
definitely not.
She's got other things to do.
Absolutely.
And I think Vi is the one who kind of broke through that and made her go, oh, is this what I've been missing?
But we'll get into that later. Let's start looking at her chronologically. So let's start with Act 1 with Caitlyn as a child.
So Caitlyn self-describes as a misfit when she's talking to Jace in, I believe it's episode 3?
No, episode 2.
Yeah. She's talking to Jace after he's been disgraced, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
And she says that she's a misfit too. I think it's really important to establish that when she says that, it doesn't necessarily mean things that it might mean in our world. Like, it has nothing to do with her sexuality.
No.
She's not a misfit because she likes girls.
No, that is not it.
Yeah, nobody cares about that in the Arcane universe.
No, that's the beauty of it.
Yeah.
One of the beauties, anyway.
So when she says that, I think it has more to do with feeling like she doesn't fit anywhere.
Yeah.
And I think that's also, that applies to kind of this whole fandom headcanon issue, but we'll get to that in a minute.
Yeah.
But she doesn't fit with the more upper crust Piltover folks like her parents, because she views things through a different lens, I think. And she doesn't really fit with her working class peers because they see her as this snooty upper class person.
Yeah. It's impossible for her, basically. So she doesn't want to be the snooty upper class, but she was born into that.
Yeah.
And she wants to be part of the lower class or middle class, and they won't let her.
I mean, I don't know if she wants to be part of it, but she wants to be able to
contribute to it.
Yeah, she wants to be able to interact with them and not be distrusted.
Yeah, she wants to help.
I mean, I don't know if she necessarily wants to be a lower class than what she is.
No, I don't think she wants to be it, but she wants to be in that world.
Yeah. That's a complicated question, but
Yeah.
But yeah, she wants to see everything, not just the city on the hill. She wants to see all of Piltover.
Yeah, the widening of Caitlyn's horizons is definitely an issue we're going to look into.
Yeah.
She wants to broaden her horizon.
Yeah. She wants to see everything that the city has to offer, not just the parts that her parents want to show her. So when she says that she's a misfit, it's in the sense of, especially class-wise, she just doesn't belong anywhere. And she's also just kind of socially awkward.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we don't know that she doesn't have friends, but we certainly don't see any other than Jace.
Yeah.
Who is also kind of more like a brother. I mean, I'm not going to say she doesn't have any friends, but...
I mean, it's the show. We don't get to see their whole social lives. We get to see the very brief moments that are important for the story arcs, that sort of thing.
Yeah, exactly.
So she could have some, but they are not showing her as being sociable.
No, that's my point. She's focused on work.
Yeah.
She's focused on doing her job. But that's later. So
can I just say they are showing Mel to be sociable, they're showing Jace to be sociable, and they're showing Vi to be sociable, right? So they want those characters to be seen as sociable.
Yeah.
So I guess we can infer from that Caitlyn is definitely not supposed to be seen that way.
Is Vi sociable? I don't know. I feel like she's a little bit of a smartass.
Of course she is, but she's sociable. She interacts with her gang. She interacts with Vanda. She can go into the brothel and talk to people there. She
knows how to talk to people. She knows how to flirt.
Absolutely.
You're right. I mean, she knows enough to give Caitlyn some advice at the brothel.
Yeah.
The main thing with Caitlyn as a child is that she already knows that she's different. And she's really fascinated with the Undercity.
Yeah.
I mean, we see her in episode 2. She's asking Jace, like, "Ooh, did you really go to the Undercity to get all this stuff?" And she
Hmm.
seems, like excited about it that he got to go there.
Yeah, and it was a dangerous place.
Hmm. And she's very focused on her shooting.
Yeah.
That's something that she seems to have developed a skill for very young,
Yeah.
and she's very, very focused on that. And that's probably part of why she decided that being an enforcer would be, a good fit for her,
Yeah.
because she has a skill that's useful. And on top of that, she's good at putting things together, being a detective.
Yeah.
So I can see why she thought that that was a good career path for herself,
Yeah.
despite what her mother might think.
And not only makes her useful to other people, but something that also keeps her active, a way, something that gives her agency, something that gives her not exactly exercise, but it's something that she uses her body. She's alive. She not sitting on her ass in the council chamber.
Yeah.
She's a doer. She's active like that. Well, she's athletic in a way, but she's not as physical as Vi is. We were still talking about her as a child.
Yeah, I mean, we don't have that much to go on. We have
No,
like 2 scenes, I think, of her. Maybe 3.
there are three scenes. There's the first one where she's in the hallway with Jace.
Hmm.
Then there's a scene where she's in her living room with her parents. Then there's a scene where she's outside in the rain with the umbrella with Jace,
Yeah.
and that's it.
And we also have the scene with Grayson with the shooting competition in episode 5, is it?
Yeah, that scene is a little longer. Even if it is a very useful and deadly skill that she can use much later in life for good causes, it's definitely for fun when she has the competition with Grayson.
Yeah.
And she has the discussion with Grayson, which is also kind of formative for her.
Yeah.
So when she grows up, she becomes an enforcer, like we said, and this job sort of enforces the dorky side of her, or the geeky, the nerd who likes to discover things, who likes to do research. She does plenty of that. She can really be up in her head, as Jace calls it, the great conspiracy. She really wants the truth. She wants to get to the bottom of things, and she's very confident as an enforcer. Mainly, she wants to be a detective, but I guess Marcus is holding her back a little bit, sticking her with menial tasks such as guarding the tent that her mother is in and guard duty at night. But she does it because she's extremely dutiful. She does what she's told, and yet she breaks the rules to go on the detective missions, trying to investigate what's going on. So she is rule abiding and yet rule breaking at the same time.
Yeah.
But to get back to the dorkiness, that she's socially awkward, we see that especially in their guard duty scene, where Jace is making his big speech. She's stuck outside in her guard duty.
Hmm.
And all the other enforcers, there are about how many? 4 or 5?
I'm always confused in that scene because I only remember seeing 4, but then they say later that 6 enforcers were killed, and I'm like, where are the
Yeah.
other 2? But
Yeah.
anyway,
They must have come running later, maybe.
yeah.
But the other 4 enforcers are sitting on the steps and they're being very relaxed and they're smoking and they're small talking. And she's like 2 meters in front of them, stiff as a board, with her back towards them, at attention, right? Checking to see if there's anything untoward going on. But she tries to participate with them. They're talking and they are starting to discussing what a blimp is, and she can't help interfere, not because she likes small talk, because she wants to get details right. So it's not bloody well a blimp, it's an airship. And the enforcers are just, come on, get off your high horse, you well-educated woman, and get back to your cocktail dresses. And she's like, not really saying anything. She's not responding anything. She just gives an awkward little half smile.
Yeah.
She really can't interact with them on that level or relax in that situation.
Yeah. It's like she just kind of is like, well, I guess I should have expected that. Like, that's probably not the first time that that's happened, but
Yeah.
she did it anyway. And she's like, oh, what did I expect?
Yeah. She seems a little bit resigned and expecting the trash talk actually that they're doing to her. So I guess in that situation, she could have said, for instance, in that I think I mentioned this in my characterization of her, that she could have responded to what they were saying, like I'd rather be here than at a cocktail party, or I don't like cocktail parties, or I just think details matter. Or but she has no comeback.
Hmm.
She's definitely at a loss for words when it comes to something sociable, when it comes to something personal.
Yeah.
When she's talking to Echo later about principles, man, she can talk.
Yeah, I think she's just like, well, I'm not welcome, I guess, and nothing's going to change their minds. So,
Yeah. What we also see in that guard scene is that, like I said before, that she's dutiful. So she became an enforcer, not to necessarily be a part of the middle class, but to be of use to the middle class or to the lower class, to those that need it. She wants to be useful, and she is. I think you phrased it at that like that at some point, that she wants to be the boots on the ground.
yeah,
She doesn't want to be high in the council chamber, sitting on her ass and making decisions. She wants to live it out. She wants to do things. She's very active in that way.
she's not hyper social, but she does seem to want to be among the people,
Mm.
and like we've talked about privately, she sees her mom making decisions that affect everyone, but
Hmm.
her mom doesn't actually know about the lives of everyone.
No.
She doesn't know what they're experiencing because she's only hanging out in Piltover, in this nice, fancy, clean part of the city,
Yeah.
and doesn't really know what other people are experiencing. And she's looking down on them.
Yeah. Well, the mother can recognize a stray when she sees one, or a person from the undercity when she sees one, but she does not understand them.
No, she doesn't seem to really have much empathy for them,
No.
which is something we'll get to about Caitlyn.
Oh, yes.
But yeah, Caitlyn wants to actually know, she wants to affect people's lives, but she wants to actually know about their lives
Yeah.
first.
Yes.
And I think that's part of why she wants to go to the Undercity, because she's like, well,
Hmm.
they're part of Piltover too, but I
Yeah.
don't know anything about their lives, and
Yeah.
part of why she becomes an enforcer is I think, well, now I can be at least in closer proximity to the middle class, because I would say
Yeah.
being an enforcer, that's like a middle class profession.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, those are
Hmm.
all kind of middle class folks. Like, it doesn't get talked about much. You've got the lower class in Zaun and the upper class in Piltover, but I think there's a
Yeah.
little bit of a middle class that kind of straddles both.
Yeah. I agree.
So, yeah, those, and for all we know, there could be enforcers there that are from Zaun, from the Undercity. That's
Hmm.
not really addressed, but I think
No.
in season 2 we're going to meet some more
I mean,
enforcers.
we get students at the academy that are from Zorn,
Yeah,
like Victor
yeah,
and Sky, I think her name was,
hmm,
the one he turns into Ash,
yeah.
sadly.
Exactly. So I wouldn't be surprised if at least one of the enforcers that we've seen in this season 2 ads is going to be from the Undercity. That would not
Yeah.
surprise me at all. There's one that we see in the clip with Vi that they've
Hmm.
released of her in the pit fights.
Right. Yeah.
He's one of the enforcers, and he's in the crowd. For all we know, he's from the Undercity.
He doesn't seem very Piltovian.
But anyway, yeah, my point is, being an enforcer is kind of a middle class position, kind of job.
Yeah, and in Caitlyn's mother's eyes, it's definitely less than what Caitlyn should be doing. Cassandra, being a counselor, sees it as beneath Caitlyn to be an enforcer. Is not worthy of her. She should be something more. As you say, being a middle class enforcer is just not good enough in Cassandra's book. But Caitlyn, I think she adds great value to that job. She's a a woman of principle. She has ideals. She's a very idealistic woman, and she definitely sees it as a important thing, an important job to protect people and to discover the truth. And as you say, she wants to know things, not just hear about them or see them. She wants to know and understand. And the only way to do that is to get new perspectives, is to see things and experience things for yourself.
Mm-hmm.
So when her mother and, well, her parents and Jace and Marcus are trying to bench her after she was exploded almost to bits by Jinx, she's like desperate to make a last ditch attempt at finding the truth. So she runs off and goes to the prison where she meets Vi. But before we get into that, I think we need to talk a little bit more about her as an enforcer, because there's a different side to her being an enforcer, because she's compassionate as well. We talked about Cassandra not having the empathy of understanding other people. That's definitely something that Caitlyn can do. She has the ability to understand other people through her empathy. And we see this when she tries to get information out of the big burly tattooed guy, right?
Yeah. She doesn't look down on him. She
Mm-mm.
doesn't really judge him even. She's just like, oh, this person is injured. This person was part of the situation. This person was injured. And I want to find out what they know and also help him with his injury. Which,
Mm-hmm.
that's one of the things that I really want to get at, is that there are people watching the show who just really hate cops.
Yeah.
And they distrust cops. And part of that is because in the US, unfortunately, the police see themselves, for the most part, more as, instead of protecting the people and assisting the people and helping the people,
Mm-hmm.
half the time they attack the people. And we see this in the show too. You know, these
Yeah.
enforcers, they killed Vi's parents.
Yeah.
So I get, you know, how people can relate to that because of how,
They're brutal, they're callous.
yeah, I can see how people, especially in the US, can relate to that,
Mm-hmm.
because we have a lot of issues with police brutality here.
Yeah.
But Caitlyn is different.
Yeah.
And yes, she is privileged.
Mm-hmm.
She has a social position that is much greater than most of the people that she wants to help, wants to protect, wants
Mm-hmm.
to resolve disputes amongst whatever.
Yeah.
But she can't help that. That's not, she wants to overcome that. She's trying to overcome that.
Yeah.
And she's constantly kind of being blocked in by her mother and by Marcus,
Yeah.
partly because he wants to stay on Cassandra's good side, and partly because he doesn't want the smart girl with the connections investigating, because she's going to find out.
Yeah, that he's connected to Silco. Yeah.
Yeah. So she's not that kind of cop. Now, season 2, that could be a completely different story, but
Yeah.
in season 1, that's not who she is. She's very compassionate, she's very empathetic, and she knows damn well that she is sheltered.
Yeah.
And she wants to try to be less so. And
Yeah.
she's doing the best that she can to do that.
And she doesn't want to abuse her power.
Yeah.
She knows she has a lot of power. She knows her rifle can be used with deadly force, but she doesn't. She uses it to control a situation, not
Mm-hmm.
be powerful and take over, right?
Exactly.
She uses it to protect herself or to make a situation stable again. So she doesn't kill Savika, which she could have very easily, but she puts her out of commission.
Exactly. That's what I was getting at. Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Savika, if that situation had happened in the US right now,
Mm-hmm.
Savika would probably be dead. If it had been like a different cop, Savika would probably be dead.
Yeah.
But she knows it's not her job to just kill people. Like that's not her job. Attacking and killing people
Mm-hmm.
is not what she views as her job.
Exactly.
That doesn't mean that she won't, but that, I think that side of it is something that she struggles with, because we
Yeah.
see that in the finale with Jinx, which we will get to that. We'll explore that from a lot of different angles, but
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I do think that, you know, she really does not want to take lives unless she absolutely has to. It is not something that she does casually.
No.
And she doesn't have that jumpy trigger finger
No.
that so many American cops seem to have.
It's like the sharpshooter in her. She takes a deep breath and concentrate and gets her mark, and then she shoots. She doesn't just like Jinx
Yeah.
spreading bullets everywhere.
Yeah.
But so it shows not only, as you say, her compassion or her empathy, her ability to get a hold of herself, rein herself in, control her emotions, I guess. So she stays clear minded. But it also shows her skill, how good she is with that rifle, that she can
Yeah.
use this with such precision.
Yeah.
That is kind of amazing.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of why she's able to stay calm like that is because she's hanging back. She's far away from the action.
Yeah.
She's not necessarily the one in immediate danger.
She's an observer.
Yeah. So that's part of it. That's part of why she's not just out there killing people willy-nilly, because she's not, for the most part, the one being attacked.
And plus, Marcus and the mother, they're keeping him from those kinds of gigs.
Yeah.
They're keeping her with the boring guard duty, and they're not sending her into the Undercity. She has to do that herself. She has to disobey and go into the Undercity herself.
Yeah. But one of the defining characteristics of Caitlyn, both as a person, just as a human, and as an enforcer, is her compassion and her empathy. And we see that with, the person that's on the airship, the big thug guy that she tries to help and question.
The tattooed guy, yeah.
We see that in prison when she finds out that Vi is being beaten regularly. Yeah. She's very disturbed and not particularly happy about that.
No.
She doesn't know anything about Vi.
No.
Or what Vi did or didn't do, but she's like...
Only that she was kind of aggressive in the bars, right?
Yeah, but even then she's like, that's not how we should be treating our prisoners. You can tell it really bothers her.
Exactly.
Just because they did something wrong doesn't mean that we beat them every day.
Yeah.
So I think that is part of how she connects with Vi.
Yeah.
Is through empathy.
Yeah. I mean, we also see it when she meets that Huck guy. The guy at the very bottom who's totally addicted to Shimmer. And he helps her out finding a remedy for Vi when she's injured. And she gives him a hug. Out of the blue, because that's what he needed in that moment, and that's the only way she could thank him.
Yeah.
So that's what she does, and she doesn't care what he looks like and where they are and what they're doing. I really like that part of her, that she may be socially awkward, but she's got so much love to give.
Yeah,
really.
I think that's one of the things I love the most about that moment, is that it is kind of socially awkward, because Huck is kind of like, what are you doing? But like, she doesn't really think about it. She just kind of does it on instinct, and it's kind of a weird, awkward thing to do. But for her, like you said, it's the only way that she has to thank him for what he did.
Yeah.
Of course, he later turns around and goes and tells Silco that they're there, but
that doesn't take anything away from Caitlyn's actions in that moment.
No. And to be as fair as possible to him, I think he knew that he was going to do that when he first came up there. But he also knew that he owed Vander, and so he wanted to save Vi's life regardless.
Yeah. So I guess he was in two minds, and I guess he liked Caitlyn, and he knows that it's completely wrong, but he can't help himself because he's an addict.
Yeah.
So I don't blame Huck for betraying Caitlyn. I mean, and we could argue that Caitlyn is so sheltered and privileged that she's rather ignorant on some things and kind of naive. But I really like that aspect of her, that she'd rather believe in the good in people than to see the negative sides first.
Yeah. I mean, that's part of what happens with Vi, where she tells her she has a good heart.
Yeah.
But her arc, to me, is entirely about, or at least it's a really big factor, the way that her empathy is kind of subverted and used against her.
Yeah.
And it may be that she loses it or questions it in the second season, because
Yeah.
bad things happen because she feels things, because she's empathetic, because she loves.
Makes the snap.
Because of those things, she hesitates and her mom dies, you know. I want to get more into that in the episode where we actually talk about Vi and Caitlyn.
Yeah.
But I really think that that is a huge part of Caitlyn's arc, is that her compassion is beautiful and it's her best quality, but because of these tragic events, she may come to believe that it's actually her worst quality, and that it's something that she has to excise, to cut out, to tamp down, you know, instead of embrace.
Yeah, it's also the fact that what does she choose? Does she go with her heart, or does she do her duty?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, does she? That was a choice she had in that moment, and I think you're right. We should discuss it when we get to the Caitlyn and Vi episode.
At this point, I think we've covered as much as we can about the empathy versus enforcer aspect of Caitlyn's personality and her character arc,
Yeah.
until we discuss her relationship with Vi, because it's a big factor there, and it's a big factor in discussing what happens in the finale and where things might go in season 2.
Yeah.
But I think I want to move on to talking about Caitlyn's relationship with her mother, because that is also really important. I think they do a really good job of giving us the gist of it without spending too much screen time on it. Like, it's kind of amazing how much I understand about her relationship with her mother.
Yeah.
Just based on such a small amount of screen time.
Exactly. Yeah.
So I think what I would say is their relationship is sometimes contentious. It's sometimes difficult, but they do love each other.
Yeah. She still lives at home.
I absolutely think that they love each other.
Yeah.
And Caitlyn does respect her mother.
Yes.
And we see some similarities with them. I mean, Cassandra's obviously pretty good with the gun herself.
Oh, yes. An active person who can, kick down a door.
Yeah.
It's not the father bursting in, kicking the door. That's the mother.
Yeah.
So it's a family where it's a matriarchy. It's the mother who's the boss. And that's being passed along to Caitlyn.
Yeah, and we'll touch more on that in the next episode about gender.
Yeah.
So yeah, Caitlyn definitely respects her mother. She loves her mother. She doesn't always agree with her.
No.
And her mother doesn't always approve of her, of Caitlyn.
No. They don't see eye to eye all the time.
No, but it is still a loving relationship.
Yeah.
I would say that her mom really needs to work on boundaries, that she really needs to stop trying to coddle and protect her adult daughter.
Yeah, the mother takes away her agency sometimes, right? By asking Marcus to do things. And that's definitely a boundary issue.
Yeah. And it's very underhanded too, because she's going to Marcus and having Marcus forbid her from doing things, and thinking Caitlyn's not gonna know that she's not gonna know that's what happened, or I don't know.
And then they get her fired.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's better you found a job at a safer place. So now you can be head of security for the new counselor, Jace.
Yeah.
Oh, that pisses her off so much. I really understand that. I mean, the problem with they love each other, but Cassandra doesn't really understand what Caitlyn is trying to do.
No.
She doesn't get it.
She doesn't get it at first.
At first, yeah.
I think she does get it after the council meeting. And that scene, that little nod, I think it's often misinterpreted.
Oh, yes.
People make it about Vi.
It's not.
Yeah, no, I love Vi. I adore Vi. I love Caitlyn and Vi. But that moment, in my opinion, that is not about Cassandra approving of Vi.
Nope.
That doesn't mean that that's not a factor. That Vi isn't part of the mix. But what it is Cassandra approving of Caitlyn.
Yes.
And saying, I respect the decisions that you've made, and I trust you, and I trust that if you think this person is worthy of your time and your attention and you just talked her up to the council, then yeah, she maybe she's okay, but that's not really the point. The point is that she's approving of Caitlyn and saying
Yeah.
you did a good job.
I wholeheartedly agree on that. And I think I said as much as in one of my videos. That's about Cassandra approving of Caitlyn. Okay, maybe now I see what it is you do.
Hmm.
You've done a good job. You found out the truth about Marcus. You found out that it's Silco who's behind everything. And she's
Hmm.
like, I'm impressed, or good job on that. And yes, as you say, Vi is probably in the mix in there. You found evidence too. You found a witness. So I definitely don't see the head nod as being with, ooh, she's nice, go get her.
Yeah.
No, that's not about it.
It's like you did a good job and now you can go.
Exactly. Now you can go. You've done your best. I mean, it might not have come to the result that Caitlin wanted in that council meeting, but she tried, and she tried well. And that's what Cassandra is saying. Good job. Good on you.
Yeah. And it's really, really important, I think, in setting up what's about to happen because we're like 99% sure that Cassandra is in bits and pieces now
Yes.
after the events of the finale. So I think having that moment where her mother finally gives her that
Yes.
approval, because as contentious as that relationship is, I definitely think that her mother's approval still matters to her
Oh, absolutely.
because she does respect her mom.
You can see it on her face when Cassandra nods at her. She smiles and
Hmm.
sort of relaxes in her shoulders
Hmm.
when she's looking at her mother. So she definitely feels it. And that's the last time they interact. That is
Yeah,
so sad.
exactly. I mean, it's sad, but it's kind of beautiful. At least their last
Yeah.
moment was a good one.
Yeah.
But that's what's going to linger with Caitlyn going into season 2.
Yeah.
So,
Because we see that her and her mother, they don't touch, right? And Caitlin is a very tactile person. She expresses emotions by touching, like the easy easy. Her compassion with the burly tattooed man, she touches him. She
mhm,
touches Vi. She touches Huck in
mhm,
the giving him a hug. She expresses things through touch, and she doesn't touch her mother at all.
mhm.
I don't think we see them touch season one. They don't touch each other. She gives
Yeah.
her father a hug, and the father is the one who fixes her the wound that she has in her leg, while the mother is sitting far across the room and the other side of a table and stirring a cup of tea. So there's a definite distance between Caitlin and Cassandra, but
Mhm,
that distance is much shorter in that small moment. Cassandra lets her present to the council. That's the first step in the right direction.
mhm.
And then we have the council scene and then the nod after. So that's definitely the best sort of evolvement of the relationship they have with each other. And
Yeah.
then boom.
I would also say that that softer side that she has with the touching and with the empathy probably comes more from her father. He
Yes.
seems like the more gentle, hands-on, probably spoils and coddles her a bit,
Yeah.
kind of parent, whereas Cassandra's a little tougher, a little more brittle.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah.
and I think we see both of those qualities in Caitlyn, like
Hmm.
her assertiveness and confidence as an enforcer. I think she gets from her mom, but then
Yeah.
that gentleness and compassion and empathy, I think she gets from her dad.
Yeah.
I think just again with the small amount of screen time that they have, I feel like they managed to get that across, at least if you're paying attention.
Yeah. I mean, for example, in the scene with where she has the shooting competition with Grayson, where she wins, and she's like, okay, I won, but the prize isn't that interesting, and she goes to talk to Grayson. But inside we see the parents celebrating that she won, and the father holds the rifle and is like, yeah, my daughter, she's so great. She is excellent with the rifle, and he's smiling, he's bragging about her, right? And the mother, she's still a little stiff and like looking, where did she go? So The mother's the protector. She's the strict one, where the father is definitely the lover, the one who shows emotion when it comes
Mm-hmm.
to Caitlyn.
Yeah. So let's see, what's the last thing?
We were thinking of the journey she undergoes going through the Undercity.
Yeah, I think that's something that you wanted to touch on,
Mm-hmm.
because that's when she starts to her horizons start to open up, and she starts to actually
Yeah.
learn about other places, and we see her be very, like, at first she's very uninformed, and she puts her foot in her mouth a lot, and
Yeah.
she seems kind of rude and kind of bossy, and it's kind of
Mm-hmm.
this interesting contrast to other things that we've seen from her.
She's rude, bossy, and she's also cautious, right?
Mm,
Weird, because she's so assertive as a when she tries to investigate the airship that was blown up, right?
yeah.
But jumping into the Undercity, following Vi as she does parkour, she's like, oh, tiptoeing her way
Yeah.
down.
But I mean, the ultimate decision that she made is pretty impulsive. Oh,
Yeah.
let me let this prisoner out, even though I have no idea why she's here, and we're gonna go be buddy cops in the other city together, I guess. Like,
Yeah.
that's a pretty impulsive decision, and I think she
Yeah.
mostly just does it because she's desperate, and she's afraid that it's
Exactly.
not the right decision, so she's kind of on her guard.
Hmm.
But yeah, she because she's so out of her element there. She doesn't really, as much as she doesn't fit in with, the middle class enforcers or the upper crust, wealthy crowd in Piltover. She doesn't really fit in the Undercity either, and she
Oh
has
no.
almost no knowledge of how anything works there, of what their lives are like.
Walking around like on eggshells.
She says things that are just, Caitlyn, what are you doing? Shut up, like, she's very awkward and puts her foot in her mouth, very bossy.
Yeah.
So we'll talk more about that when we talk about Vi and Caitlyn
Hmm.
together and their journey. But I
Hmm.
just think it's really interesting to see how off-putting she could be to Vi, even though I had already decided at that point that I did like her.
Yeah.
That I could see that she was a good person,
Hmm.
but I could also see Vi's perspective and see why, you know, Vi was like, oh God, this snooty little enforcer. Blah.
Yeah. And yet I can also understand why Caitlin is a little annoyed because Vi is also being like, okay, see what I can do. Woo-hoo! And then she runs off and Caitlin could just
Yeah.
try and see if she can catch up, right? So they're both being rather, annoying at that point. And I guess, as you say, Caitlin doesn't fit in Piltover and she doesn't fit in the Undercity. I think it's really interesting that right away when they get down there, Vi has her change her outfit, but Savika instantly spots her as an enforcer, and Jinx does the same. Even if she is in different kind of dress, they are both convinced at a glance that she's an enforcer. This is one of the things that has baffled me a little bit because I don't think she looks it. First of all, she's not like the other enforcers that are from Piltover,
Hmm.
and she's in disguise. She's not wearing her uniform, and yet Savika right away knows it's an enforcer, right?
She does, and I feel like maybe there was supposed to be some kind of explanation for that, but it just didn't make it into the show. There's a few different things where they said, "Oh, we had a scene to explain this, but we just decided that we didn't have the space for it and we had to just let it go."
Yeah,
So I wonder if it's one of those things,
could be.
because yeah, I'm not sure how they know, because
No,
Marcus doesn't even know she's out, that she's there. So
no.
Savika couldn't have found out from him.
Yeah, maybe it's the rifle. Is it a Piltover issue? I don't know, but it's definitely not the same weapon as the other enforcer uses,
Yeah.
as the other enforcers use.
I don't think Savika would have seen her in episode 4
No.
unless she was hanging around after the thing on the airship.
Yeah, I mean, it's if she hears something that they say, then maybe she could guess it. But
Yeah.
in my opinion, she ran away. I mean, with Caitlin shooting at her like that, it's like, oh, I'm not going to stick around and try and listen in. I'm going to run.
Yeah.
So
I mean, I guess that's how she knew, because doesn't that line comes about her being an enforcer comes after Caitlyn shoots her. So
yeah,
I guess that's how she knew.
but I mean, people can shoot in the Undercity too, like powder.
Yeah, but to be a very skilled sharpshooter, I don't know. I don't know. We don't really see anybody doing that in the Undercity,
No,
so
no, it's just Caitlyn. Yeah, because the other enforcers, they have shotguns.
mm.
There's no sharpshooting with those.
There's probably other ones, but they sharpshooters are not something I think that you have a lot of at the same time.
It could be that it's a Piltovian upper class weapon, but that wouldn't peg her as an enforcer. That would peg her as a topsider, as a rich person.
Well, I don't even know if Savika got a good look at her, but I think she's just thinking like
Mm.
that person had really good aim, so they obviously have really good training. I don't know. I mean, I sort of get it.
I don't think we could come up with an explanation for this, but that is one of the things I've wondered about.
I sort of get it how she could get there from Caitlyn shooting at her from the bridge.
Yeah, but point of the fact is, even if she is in disguise, she's immediately spotted as being an outsider.
Yeah.
But I guess the journey through the city doesn't make her fit in with the Undercity. It doesn't necessarily make her fit in with Piltover either. So Caitlyn is still a misfit wherever she goes, but her own horizon is widened, like I also talked about earlier.
Yeah, exactly.
She gets a new perspective as opposed to the view from the top looking down. She gets to the very, very bottom of the Undercity. I mean, really deep down, the lowest low, where she meets Huck and where Vi and Powder used to live when they were children, right? So she gets to see it all and understand it. And through that, she understands Vi much better. So I guess that journey is important for her, not to find her a place to be, because I don't think we have an answer for that yet. Where does she belong?
Mm-hmm.
Right? In my opinion, she belongs with Vi, but that's a relationship wise. But
Yeah.
does she have a place as in society? What is her place going to be? I mean, in the game, she's supposed to be the sheriff, but does that make her fit in with Piltover? I'm not sure.
Maybe with the enforcers.
But I guess she's going to understand Piltover and Zorn much better now. But I don't know. In season 2, she's probably going to have a hard time seeing through all the anger, all the pain, all the guilt that she's suffering from.
Yeah. Yeah, so Caitlyn wasn't really going to begin to fit in the Undercity or anywhere else because she's socially awkward.
Yeah.
And that's always probably going to be the case. Like, she's always going to be a little bit of a misfit in that way, I think.
Yeah.
But it was about broadening her understanding and her knowledge and her horizons and her experiences.
Yeah.
And I'm kind of with you. I think the only place right now where I would say that she fits is with Vi.
Mm-hmm.
But it looks to me like that may be an issue in season 2. Maybe they are not going to fit so well again in the beginning, at least. But
I agree.
We'll talk about it when we do that.
Yeah.
Not next episode, but the episode after.
Yes. We're going to first have an episode about gender in Arcane because we think, well, especially the women, I guess. We're not going to talk very much about the men, primarily about the women, but how women are portrayed in Arcane. And then we're going to talk about the Kate Vi or the violin relationship, sort of to bind it all together. But we'll see how fast we are at recording these things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We're on episode 3 out of at least 5 now, though, so we're not doing too bad.
No, we're getting somewhere. It's been fun so far, so we're going to keep going, and we can't wait for season 2 to come out. We're going to do lots more then. But thanks for listening this time. Join us next time for some gender talk.
Yep. See you next time.